Alright, so welcome to the top 5 climbing mistakes video series with rockclimbtips.com and Grand River Rocks. So let's get right into it. Now, if you're watching this video, you're looking to improve your rock climbing. Now, the whole purpose of this video series is that there are certain errors that climbers make that are actually really easy to fix. And really, just by fixing one of them, climbers can often see a huge improvement in their climbing performance. A lot of these top 5 climbing mistakes, they can actually be applied right away. So you don't have to train up to them or anything like that. You can actually go out to the gym today, try them out, and right away you'll see an increase in your climbing performance. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention is that these mistakes aren't mistakes that only really beginner climbers make. I've actually seen 5'11" climbers do some of these mistakes and really limit their climbing. So, if you're beginner level, intermediate level, this is going to be really, really helpful to you. But if you're, getting up there, you've been climbing for a while, you're doing 5'11s now or higher, some of these tips may actually still be really, really useful to you for sure. Okay. The one thing I want to mention, of course, is that just one of these can actually improve your performance overnight. So here you get 5, but even if you just find one that you're definitely doing constantly and you'll learn how to overcome it by using these videos, that one thing alone can really help improve your performance overnight. So really the whole purpose of this video series is really to make you able to conquer routes much more easier. So if you're struggling on a 5'9" or a 5'10" now, the whole purpose here is to make that easier for you so you can go on to the next level. And then the other really big benefit is that once you learn these climbing mistakes and how to overcome them, to start developing the proper climbing technique. And that's not just going to help you on the current level you're at right now, but it's going to continue helping you as you become a better climber. So if you're a 5'9" climber now, once you move on to the 5'10" level, you're going to be able to conquer the 5'10s a lot easier because you already know and have these proper techniques that you learn from these videos. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to rock climbing than just 5 common mistakes climbers make, but this will definitely get you started and really help you improve your game right away for sure. Alright, so let's get right into it. Now, the top 5 climbing mistakes, first one is foot placement, and Josh is going to take you through that. The really important thing about foot placement is that if you don't do it, you're really going to limit your mobility on the wall. And this is a really common mistake that I see beginner and advanced climbers make all the time. It's a very limiting maneuver if you do it wrong. And when I mentioned before about how I see some 5'11" climbers even doing these mistakes, this is definitely one that I see happen all the time. So Josh is going to teach you the right foot placement, really to make sure that you have that mobility on the wall that you need so you can easily grab those next holds for you. Next, Scotty's going to talk about body positioning, and this is really all about giving you more control while you're on the wall. If you don't have control while you're on the wall, you're going to find yourself swinging out a lot. Now, the whole bad thing about swinging out and being out of control is that you then have to waste energy to get back in the wall, back into proper position. And really, if you're doing a really easy route, then this isn't going to make much of a difference. If you're doing a 5'4", this probably won't make a big deal. You probably won't find yourself swinging out. But once you start kind of reaching your limits in your rock climbing, you start getting to those routes that you actually find challenging, you'll find yourself swinging out a lot more, wasting energy, bringing yourself back in. So if you learn how to do this properly, you're going to get huge energy savings. And really what that's going to let you do is do routes more clean. And when I say do a route clean, by definition, what that means is to be able to climb a route without actually resting by letting go of the wall, so just hanging on the rope. So if you don't do that and you don't actually fall, so you're able to get from the beginning of the route to the very end without basically ever letting go of the wall to rest by holding onto the rope, that's considered doing the route clean. So that's definitely something you want to aim for with all your routes, and really by having the proper body positioning, that helps you do that because it gives you that energy so that you can complete them in one take as opposed to constantly letting go of the wall and resting. Next, Christoph's going to talk about route planning, and there's really 2 big benefits of this. The first is injury prevention. If you don't do the proper route planning, you could find yourself swinging out to other parts of the wall to other parts of the gym, uncontrolled swings on the rope when you let go. This can hurt you by you crashing into the wall or crashing into other climbers. So there's definitely that safety component. The other benefit is really from a performance perspective. So if you actually plan out your route accordingly, like Christoph's going to show you, you will find that the route will go a lot smoother. So these route setters, when they set these routes, they intend for the climber to go up a certain way. And so you should be planning ahead of time how you're going to tackle that particular route. Now, once again, this isn't going to make a huge difference if you're climbing 5-4s and you're just flying up that wall. That's not going to make a difference. But, when you're climbing, near the top of your ability at the moment, it's going to make a huge difference because you're going to need every ounce of energy that you can spare in order to complete that route without falling. And so by properly planning before that, it can really, really help you with that. Next, Mike's going to talk about proper breathing. Now, this one is huge. Now, when he first taught it to me, I thought, okay, breathing, yes, I've heard of that before with other sports, whatever. I'm sure it probably helps a little bit, but I didn't think it was going to be a game changer, but it actually really, really was. I would say more with climbing than with any other sport from my own personal experience. You'll go up a route, you'll finish it, you'll be tired. If you do proper breathing, it will really change the game for you. You'll have so much more energy during the route, after the route. Really a huge, huge performance booster for me to help me complete those really more difficult routes that I'm finding challenging. If I really want to do a route clean, without falling, without any sort of resting by letting go of the wall, proper breathing is a key tool that I use to give me that extra edge to be able to finish and conquer that final route. So really, really useful. Definitely don't miss that video. It's amazing. Lastly, Mike's going to finish things off with gripping. Now, a big part of this video has to do with injury prevention. So if you grip the holds wrong, you really increase your chances of injuring your tendons, and then you could be out of climbing for quite a while they heal, and it's very painful. So Mike's going to show you how to actually properly grip holds to prevent injury. And he's going to talk about how to grip some small holds, bigger holds, so you'll get a really good taste as to how to grip each type of hold. And there's a specific way that you should be thinking before you grip any particular hold. So he's going to show you that, and also from a performance perspective, how to actually best grip certain holds, really to get the most out of it. This one's pretty important because you'll hear some climbers advise about how to grip certain holds, and some of that advice, some of that wisdom some people try to spread, can actually really, really hurt you. There's certain ways that you can grip holds where you get a little boost in performance, but you really increase your chances of injury. So Mike's going to really show you how to do things properly, so that you've got that proper technique right from the get-go. All right, so without further ado, that's all for the introduction. You can now dive right into the videos and learn what the top 5 climbing mistakes are and how to avoid them.